Hey, what's up YouTube, it's Stella-Jaz, and today we're going to be talking about scholarly recoil, mortal folly, and cycles of life. Oh geez, understand my choice of words. So, number one is scholarly recoil. Basically, when you have a bunch of experts in a field, and they become, used to the idea that within their field, things are a certain way, okay? Current scientific model, or the current scholarly model of their particular thing. So if another expert comes along and says something that contradicts that model, okay, it's going to cause recoil, because at this point, the idea of this paradigm that they've had is not something that's just ingrained into their mind, but it's something that is attached to their ego. Therefore, an attack on their paradigm feels to them as if it's an attack on themselves. And so they become very defensive about it. That is what scholarly recoil is. But if you allow yourself to become a victim to scholarly recoil, it also closes your mind. Because if you're only open to one paradigm, then that paradigm will never change. If it never changes, no evolution will ever occur. Now, this scholars to lots of different things, okay? You can be a scholar to a college. You could be a scholar to a martial arts sensei. You could be a scholar of a specific religion, or a scholar of religion in general. The point is that there are so many different ways you can use the word scholar. What I mean is someone who has invested time and energy into a specific field of knowledge. And when they invest all that time and energy into it to learn, it is a certain way. If that way becomes disturbed, that's what actually is causing the scholarly recoil, because their ego is now invested into it from all that work. But that's dangerous. I'll give you another example. People who follow conspiracy theories on the internet, and I mean the really far out there ones, they, because of all the time they spend in rabbit holes, searching for information to tie facts together, or, facts together, they put a lot of energy into what they're doing. Whether or not they come out with a worthwhile result or not, it doesn't matter. Their ego is still going to be invested into their paradigm, and that is why when conspiracy theorists, now I'm not, being negative toward all conspiracy theorists, but there are a lot of very, ridiculous conspiracy theories out there. When they become invested into their conspiracy theory, anyone that points out the plot holes that are obviously sitting in it becomes an enemy. And so, in that way, conspiracy theories have and can damage your relationships with other people by detaching your mind from what reality really is, by investing your ego into an alternate version of it. So how do you avoid falling victim to scholarly recoil? The only way you can avoid that is by understanding that you are not your beliefs. You are not your thoughts, and you are not even your actions. You are I am. When you say I am, you are. That's what you are. And you're not any less than that, and you're not any more specific than that. That's how general it is. You're you. No matter how much you change or evolve, you'll still be you, even if you're unrecognizable from your current version. When you understand that, scholarly recoil no longer becomes an issue, because you don't make the mistake of investing your ego into a paradigm. You can let go of any paradigm that you hold. Now, what do I mean when I say mortal folly? Basically, this is another ego-based phenomena, and what it is when people subconsciously believe that our own stupidity and our own actions won't lead to our complete demise, right? We subconsciously believe that even if we keep polluting the earth, create a society that's damaging to its inhabitants, cut down the rainforest for more housing space, and burn the trees instead of using them for lumber, and that's happening. Even if we've made the oceans 12% more acidic with plastic bottles, most humans hold the idea or hold the expectation subconsciously that these things will somehow not affect them. But the thing is, we're all humans, and we're all subject to the consequences of such. If we do stupid shit happens. Okay? If you don't realize that, if we don't realize that we're all a species on this planet and we can be easily extincted, just like the dinosaurs and just like, fucking big ass sloths, okay? We will fucking go extinct. And the next thing we're talking about is cycles of life. Okay. So, dimensional energy has to do with vibration. What does vibration have to do with? Vibration has to do with pretty much everything, because everything is vibration. But vibration is very easily affected by mentality, okay? Your mentality of a situation is going to change your energetic relationship to it. It's going to now affect you differently because you are now exposed to a different type of energy than you were before. Changing your own state of observation, that's your vibration, will also change the outward observations. Reference the double slit experiment, or the double slot experiment, I forget. Okay, so essentially, humans are coming from a state of a lower vibration, okay? You say a lower vibration. Or in other words, the average human had a much heavier heart. They had much more regret, sadness, fear, etc. Or they had a lot more disfreedom. They had a lot more thoughts in their head making them unfree. They were trapped by, maybe it was information, maybe it was people, and maybe it was circumstance. But people over the last, 500 or 600 years, maybe even 1,000 years, have been going from pretty much survive to love your brother to thriving. Now I say thriving, but we're not really, thriving right now. Contextually though, we are thriving. Okay, we are the biggest population ever. Okay, we're the biggest animal population, or at least this big animal population. You're not going to see something our size with greater numbers than us. That does not happen. So in that sense, we are successful. But as people's vibrations continue to raise, as they will, okay, basically, dimensions converge. Because if you're operating in a fifth dimensional state of consciousness, or a state of consciousness where the factors and informational input can interact with each other, in a way that's not third dimensional, in a way where these pieces of code can, emerge into each other and change and morph. You get a greater spectrum of information that you're absorbing, okay? That's what fifth dimensional consciousness is, and as more people, slip into a state of fifth dimensional consciousness, the fifth dimensional energy within this planet is going to become a lot more powerful. It's going to become a lot stronger of a signal. What does that mean? You hear a lot of New Age people saying, something big is coming. Fuck you. They say, there's a big, great change coming. There's a big dimensional shift. Okay? And honestly, they use so much flowery language, it's just started to piss me off, because they're all saying the same thing. Look at Ralph Smart. He posts the same fucking video every day. Something big is coming. Something big. And, it does really irritate me. There's a lot of New Age people like that. But essentially, what all that is as we evolve in our consciousness, the fifth dimension will leak into the third dimension, and as that happens, it's going to make a bunch of really crazy ass shit go down that nobody thought was even physically possible, and there's going to be a huge thing. There's going to be a huge thing. Nobody knows what that thing is, because the probability surrounding that thing is much more complicated than the probability surrounding third dimensional events. This is a fifth dimensional event. It has so many more factors that can change and interact with each other and morph. The morphology of this event is so vast, it could end up as being anything, okay? So people say something big is coming, something great is coming, something terrible is coming. They don't fucking know. They just see, what the fuck? And that's in the future. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell notification icon. And yes, I really did play this in 0.5 speed, just so you'd have to speed it up. Goodbye.